Hello, and welcome back to the best part of your week. Welcome back to the Love, Death, and Movies podcast, internet's number one film breakdown and review podcast, the podcast that crushes watch lists week after week. Now, every 2 months is a different genre. Every week within that 2 months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything, join along for the ride, and let's watch some movies. I'm one of your hosts, Ash, and with me each and every week is Harry. How are you, sir?
I'm good. We're kind of done with Halloween now. Halloween's
Yeah.
not a. I was saying to you this morning. Halloween's not a big thing in Australia. Like you still see like kids doing trick or treating and stuff, but it's nowhere near as big as is in America. But we kind of just use it as like an excuse to put on Halloween parties and in random bars and drink. But it's also just a good excuse just to watch some creature features, some spooky
Totally.
stories. But how are you, Ash?
Agreed. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's November 1st. It's very weird to me. I can't really mentally process it yet. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Halloween was yesterday. I actually took the day off, so I just had a nice day filled with, just getting some stuff done around the house, watching some movies, watching Welcome to Derry. So I've been watching that. That was
I
out
can't. I
yesterday.
really want to watch that. I can't wait. It's just too much to watch at the moment.
Yeah, and we started rewatching Stranger Things season 4 to kind of prepare for
Yeah,
that new season coming out at the end of the month. So that's kind of been fun, and I was locking in a little bit more than I was expecting to on that. So yeah, it's been good, but it was just a busy week. But yeah, nothing really too crazy. Had a party last weekend for Halloween. Speaking of,
oh yeah.
since you brought it up, and that was a lot of fun. But I felt like we kind of got past Halloween because we did that the weekend before, so I didn't even dress up yesterday. It was just like a normal day.
That's fair. That's fair. Well,
So
you went as Goofy and
Roxanne, yeah. Not
Roxanne.
not
That's right.
Goofy, Max from the Goofy
Max
movie.
from
Yeah.
the Goofy movie, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It looked so fucking identical, though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really easy, and then just basically cut ears for Adam and stapled them to his hat. So it was a little bit of a hodgepodge costume, but it worked out.
That's fun.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
anything else to report from your week? That was pretty much my week.
My week's just been busy with work, but I got to see three preview films. I saw Die My Love, the new
Oh,
Lynn Ramsey film, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson. I think it's Jennifer Lawrence's best performance.
okay.
It's weird, but she's great. She's fantastic. I really dug it. I thought it was great. A couple of people that I went with didn't love it, so
Okay.
it's not everyone's. I saw Good Fortune, the Aziz Ansari written, directed, starring with
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen comedy film. It's fine. It's funny. It's like don't rush out to see it. Like that's a perfect like Sunday morning Netflix film, Sunday afternoon Netflix film. Now, so have you heard of Dead of Winter?
Mm-mm.
Dude, this movie rocks. So it's Emma Thompson, right? I'm just gonna read you the synopsis. Wrong place, wrong crime. A widowed fisherwoman, traveling alone through snowbound northern Minnesota, interrupts the kidnapping of a teenage girl. Hours from the nearest town and no phone service, she realizes she's the girl's only hope. It's Emma Thompson. The whole movie takes place within like a square kilometer, and it's just really good. It's really fun, really
Interesting.
good, and like it's these two like meth head like people are the villain, and one of the main villain is Judy Greer,
What?
right? And so I went into this movie knowing that she's in it, and she looks nothing like herself because she's like supposed to be looking like she was been destroyed by drugs. But yeah, once it comes out, I think it comes out, at least it comes out in Australia end of November, so probably maybe before, maybe around that time. If you see Dead of Winter, go, yeah, definitely watch it. I give it 4 stars. I can see it being like a 3.5, but it's a lot of fun. Like it's just really good.
Interesting.
And Emma Thompson's a bad bitch. Other than that, watched a lot of horrors. Got to show my girlfriend and her mum Scream for the first time, which I told you guys yesterday. I completely forgot that the
Mm-hmm.
first scene is Drew Barrymore getting hung by her intestines.
Hey, at least you didn't show your teenage nieces.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But as soon as that happened, that scene finished, I was just like, so that's the goriest scene of the film. So,
Yep.
and then like, but they both loved it, so thank God.
Yay.
It was great. Spoilers for in the next 30 seconds for the first Scream. If you haven't seen it, then I don't know what to do with you.
I mean,
Um, they were kind of the perfect audience because they had no idea who the killer was, and to keep you on guessing and stuff. And towards the end, when Billy gets killed by Ghostface in the bedroom, they're like, oh, well, I guess it's not him then. And I was there just watching the screen going, just waiting.
Who did they think it was?
They thought it was Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which but then towards the end, she's like, my girlfriend's mum just goes, red herring. It was hilarious, but they both love the film, so thank God.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's my week.
Nice. Okay, well, we're continuing on with the book of horror remakes. And this week, I would say, is our first true remake, where it is not a reimagining; it is a remake, or I guess just a redo, I should say, of 1998's. We're talking about 1998's Gus Van Sant's remake of the classic Psycho, obviously from Hitchcock, and the film stars Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates, and is it Hesh, I think it is, as Marion Crane, Julianne Moore as Lila Crane, and Viggo Mortensen as Sam Loomis. The cast is wild to me, honestly. Releasing 38 years.
And William H. Macy.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put him in here. But I mean, honestly, every time somebody shows up, you're just like, oh, it's that person.
Yeah.
Even the wife of the chief of police is the lady from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's what she's from.
Yeah,
yes.
Like it's literally just a bunch of familiar faces that, range from super famous to less noticeable, but still you're like, oh, I've seen them before. Releasing 38 years after the original film. It's filmed in color and has the obvious updates of the time, but is a true shot-for-shot retelling of the original, much more than most remakes are, even copying the camera style, most of the script, and the musical score. Due to the nature of the remake, a lot of buzz around it has been making people wonder why this was even made, and it is fairly rated low across the board on, things like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Letterboxd, obviously. So very interested to see what you have to say about this film. But in case people don't know what Psycho is about, I will go ahead and read the description. A young female bank employee, Marion Crane, steals money from her boss in Phoenix, flees town, and arrives in a small California town at the rundown Bates Motel, which has many secrets of its own. So before we get into it, I know you love the original, like it's one of your favorite films. So tell me your history, I guess, with the Psycho, the original in general, and what you thought about watching this remake for the first time.
So yeah, I'd never seen the remake before this week. The original I've seen countless times. It's like one of my mum's favorite films. So it was one of the movies that she always showed me when I was a kid. And I don't know, might be my first step into horror. I don't know. It was hard to remember back then, but I've always loved it. I've always really respected it. And every time you watch Psycho, you kind of take something more away from it. But it always felt like I never wanted to watch this remake because I was like, why remake this? Unless they do something different and stuff. So, but at the same time, I was just I just don't think that a masterpiece like this should ever be remade. And then I watched the remake, and it's really surprised me of how different the film is because it's not different at all. It's like a shot-for-shot remake, the exact same script. It felt like you're watching a play of a film. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where you're like, oh, you're just being a kind of an imitation. I will say this, though. Vince Vaughn's great in this. I thought Vince Vaughn was, creepy as fuck. It took me, a good 20 minutes to, accept him as Norman Bates. But as soon as I was like, no, he doesn't come close to Anthony Perkins. But no one ever will. But I thought, his, mannerisms and stuff, his wardrobe was awesome, I thought. But, yeah, this was weird. I didn't not like it. I just thought it was very unnecessary. When you do a remake, I feel like you have to bring something new to the table. You have to give a reason of why it's being remade, and a whole new interpretation of this story. It's based on a book as well, so it's not just you should just base it on the book rather than base it on the original film. And it's Gus Van Sant. He's one of the best working directors. He could, I don't know. I could go on and on about that, but yeah, I feel like it I don't know. It's a weird one because it's just identical. Mm-hmm. It's kind of just felt like cheap in a way. It's kind of felt like we didn't see any sort of creative prowess behind it, and it kind of diminishes it a little bit. But in saying that, there's elements in this that I thought were done really great. But then I'm like, they're done really great because Hitchcock already did it. And like it's just someone being like, "Hey, that's a great angle to do that." Yeah, it was done in 1960. so this is a fucking tough one. Hey, what do you think of
Yeah.
it?
No, I'm with you. It was, I mean, I don't have the connection to the original that you do. I had seen it once before in my life, and then this was I've rewatched the original as well before this. I thought it'd be very appropriate to watch the original before the remake. It felt insulting
Nice.
to not do that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I knew I wanted to rewatch it. I just bought actually a 4K copy of it, so I was actually excited to watch it like high quality remaster. And I just loved it. I was just the original. I was just like so in it. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Knowing that it's a, I mean, I heard it was a shot for shot, but I was hoping that it was a little bit different. But I kind of came out of it like you. It's like it was the exact same movie, but yet it felt so different. I don't know if it was just the combination of the '90s aesthetic mixed with Vince Vaughn, kind of bringing a little bit of a different approach to the character.
Yeah.
Same lines, obviously, same script, but I still feel like he did kind of stand on his own. I thought he was better than I was expecting.
Yeah,
He
same.
always
I
just
was
plays
expecting
Vince
a
Vaughn.
train wreck from him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have seen this guy in movies my entire life from the 2000s forward, and he just plays himself.
Yep.
I've never looked at him and been like, oh, that was Vince Vaughn playing somebody else. It's always just Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn. But I feel like here it actually felt like he was playing Norman Bates. So
Yep.
I did appreciate that at least. But yeah, I don't know. It's really strange to watch a movie that really is just like imitation as flattery, maybe. Like maybe Gus Van Sant's just a massive Hitchcock fan and really wanted to just like recreate something with modern filmmaking and colors and aesthetic. I don't know. I don't feel like the aesthetic really added anything to it, to be honest with you, as far as being set like 38 years later. But yeah, I didn't hate it, but I don't know why it was made. I'm kind of just like neutral. I'm not like offended by
Why
it.
was it made? Great question. Why was this fucking thing made?
That's my biggest question is just why. Because there's only a couple of moments in the movie that were technically different than the original, whether it just be like, zooming in on him sitting in the kitchen in the house or like the scene in the parlor when she's eating the sandwich. There's a little extra dialogue there
Yeah.
than in the original. But for the most part, literally same camera style, same score, same everything. I think the thing I liked least was that the two kills were done identical. I was kind of hoping they were going to like modernize that and make it look a little bit more gory or a little bit more scary. That was the one thing I was hoping with this. I was like, okay, he has an opportunity to kind of make these kills seem a little bit more intense because the first one, to be honest, it's not scary, right? Like it's
No,
not really.
I do think that the kill from the bird's eye camera at the top of the staircase, I always thought that was really creepy.
No, it is, but I just meant like as far as the actual like stabbing and like the bloody
No,
like
right, yes,
gore
correct.
element
Yes,
part
yes,
of
yes,
it.
yes, 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 yes. Agreed.
Yeah, so that was my main hope was like that they would do something a little different there, not just literally the same exact camera work and the same style of
Yeah.
killing. But yeah, anyways, we'll get more into it, but that's pretty much what I'm probably going to have to say about it for the most part. I don't have like much more to add than that. Besides, I'm not offended by it, but I just don't really get it. I think for the actors was the actors is really what it is as far as any stars I'm going to give the film is just like, oh, these actors were great.
Yeah.
That's all
But
I
it's
really
like,
have.
that's what I'm saying. Like, every time you're like, oh, this was good, I was like, yeah, but this wasn't this film's idea.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I think we're on the same page. So, okay, well, let's get into it. This is literally just going to be a breakdown of the film Psycho, whether you're watching the 1961 or
Yeah. It's the
the
exact same.
1998 one.
Well, but before we start,
Yeah.
like the parts that I don't like about this is that they're kind of doing an impression of the way that the original actors said the lines, and I
Yeah.
didn't like that. Of just like it's like I do errands for my mother, the ones that she realized I'm capable of doing, and it's like that's exactly how Anthony Perkins said it. Just say it differently. Just
Yeah.
like if you're going to use the same scripts, just do it in maybe in a different room, do it in like a different way, walk around while you're saying it, like do something.
Yes. You know what's funny? I have to give a little bit of credit. I feel like Viggo Mortensen and Julianne Moore did do that. I feel like they
Yeah,
did bring
I
something
thought so as
different to
well.
those characters, but I don't feel like Marion and Norman were different enough from the original to like stand on their own completely. I agree.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Film opens with the exact same title card, same intro music, same font, same everything, which is really another, I don't even know what to say about that, but that was quite shocking to me that it was identical down to the font. But yes, we opened in Phoenix, 1998, to Samuel Loomis and Marion Crane in a hotel bed discussing how they want a life together outside of meeting in a dingy hotel room. Sam tells her he has to pay off debts in Fairvale and his alimony from his ex, but Marion is anxious to start their life together. So she heads back to work. She's on a break when she meets with him. She's late getting back, but her coworker tells her that her boss is also late, so he won't know. She finds out her sister called and confirmed she's headed to Tucson all weekend. Every time I hear Tucson, Arizona, I just think of What We Do in the Shadows. Have you watched the show?
Yeah. Oh, not the show, but because I always think of No Country for Old Men, because I'm pretty sure they're going to they mentioned going to Tucson.
Okay. I don't want to ruin it for you then, but when you watch the show, there's a whole episode about, I can't even spoil it because you don't even know who the character is, but anyways, those who know, who've watched it, who know about Jackie Daytona, know about Tucson, Arizona.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, Marion's boss brings a man back who brings $400,000 cash to, quote, buy unhappiness via a new home for his daughter who's about to get married. The boss tells Marion to put it in a safe deposit box and entrusts her with the money to take it to the bank as she heads home that day. She leaves early due to a headache, but really she heads home to pack a bag with all of her things and the cash that her boss entrusted her with and leaves town heading towards Fairvale. One thing I find really funny is that they did at least apply inflation to this. It was $40,000 and now it's $400,000.
400? Yeah, I thought that as well. I was like, that's fit.
But
That makes sense.
on the flip side, what pisses me off is that it does not look like $400,000.
No, not at all.
It looks like the exact same amount of money of the first one, but they just said a different amount.
Yeah.
That feels lazy to me. I don't like that. As she heads out, her boss walks across the road and sees her driving away when she's supposed to be home resting. So he is the last person to technically see her. Next morning on her drive, Highway Patrolman pulls over as she's sleeping in her car, pulled over on the side of the road. He questions her, seems suspicious of her, and after checking all her registration and paperwork, he lets her go. I thought it was interesting too that this, like in both movies in general, that this highway patrolman is like so suspicious of her from the beginning. I don't know if it's because as an audience we're supposed to feel as paranoid as she does about just everything, or I don't know what your take on that is, but I always thought it was interesting that they like show this guy, show this character, but he kind of just falls off and nothing really happens from there, but it creates a lot of like tension for her.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of like a red herring tension point.
Yeah. That makes sense. I was curious as someone who's seen it a bunch if there was like anything else that you had to offer with that whole thing, because I kind of wondered like why he never came back around or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like they even like when they're detectives looking for him, they don't really ever go to that policeman. Like surely. By the way, if you can hear birds, but there's like a group of birds outside my windows right now just going crazy.
You know what though? It's appropriate for this episode, I feel.
It kind of is, yeah.
Harry's actually in the fruit cellar right now, so just don't mind the birds.
That's true.
Don't mind the birds.
Don't worry about mother.
Yeah, exactly. Marion arrives at a vehicle trade-in business after being let go, and she sees the highway patrolman kind of go a different direction on the road. But she's in a rush, and she leaves with $4,000 less and a new vehicle with a California license plate. And meanwhile, that same highway patrolman has followed her and is watching her and pulls into the lot as she's rushing off to leave, assuming he's going to question the auto dealer about what she was up to.
Yeah.
Again, the inflation, $4,000 extra instead of it's like $700 or something like that in the original movie.
Yeah.
So at least that's consistent. Got to give him that. She continues on the road having internal thoughts about the suspicion that others are going to be having about her. Obviously, we have her boss being concerned that she didn't come back into work Monday morning. Her sister not finding her home when she returned from the weekend. I love this. Obviously, I'm going to give credit to the original. I like the way it's shot, how like she's driving and you see her kind of spiraling on her face as these people are having conversations. I really like that aspect of how the movie is done. I can't give credit to this because it's directly copied.
Exactly. It's like oh, Gus Van Sant did a great... No, wait. He's just doing what Hitchcock did.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like I really want to like not shit on him because I like him as a director, but
so do I.
I don't know how to give him any creative like, I guess, kudos here.
Yeah.
It starts to rain heavily, so Marion stops and pulls into the Bates Motel, which appears to have vacancy. So
Worst,
this
worst
is
sign,
again.
by the way. They updated the sign. Bad
Oh
sign.
yeah, I
Bad
don't like
sign.
the way the motel looks in
Yeah.
this.
No. The original one with the big Bates is like so
Agreed.
better.
Versus just having a huge like light up motel
And
sign.
then
I
like
like
in
the yeah,
small print Bates on the side. Yeah, bad.
exactly.
We're not for that.
And then I wrote this is literally the same movie, same lines, shot style, just modernized. That's what we've been saying this whole time. So Marion meets Norman Bates, signs into the registration book under a fake name, Marie Samuels, and checks into cabin 1 right next to the office.
Yeah. I've
Norman
always
asks
loved
Marion,
that moment though when he's like, "Where are you from?" He goes, "LA," and he's about to give her cabin 3, and he gives her cabin 1. Does in both movies. I think that's a really good little point that you're all like rewatching it. You're like, "Oh, he's insane already." Like yeah, he's already planned this
absolutely.
out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's clear that he's a tortured soul and obviously has a lot of problems, but they still do a great job throughout the movie, like obviously in the original when you're watching it for the first time, of making you unsure. Like, is he
Yeah,
just have some mommy issues? Is he actually like capable of something darker? Like, you really don't know. It kind of teases you back and forth. You know, he's obviously got like issues and he's very fond of Marion, but
yes,
you're not
yes,
quite sure if he's capable of like of murder
yeah.
initially, right? So yeah, I think that it's a great like suspenseful buildup, which is obviously Hitchcock's thing. So he does a great job showing that. Anyway, so yeah, Norman asks Marion to have dinner with him, sandwiches and milk, yum. And she agrees after some pressing. So he runs back to the house while she unpacks slightly. She immediately finds a hiding spot for the money as she's worried it'll be found. She wraps the money in the newspaper that she had picked up from the car dealer place. And just like in the original, of course, she wraps it up. No one's ever going to find it in the newspaper. There is no way that is $400,000.
It's not.
No
It's not
shot.
real. No.
It's all hundreds. It looks like the same amount of money from the first one, like $4,000
I'm gonna
max.
look up how many. So
That's the only part that pissed me off.
that would be what 4,000? 4,000 notes.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah, it'd be 4,000 hundred. If they're all $100 bills, it'd be
Yes.
4,000, right? That'd be like this big.
Yeah. And she stacks
Yeah,
like two little tiny things in there, just like in the original. It's like, that's the kind of stuff I don't like. It's like if you're going to increase the money amount, like make it
yeah,
have your own touch then. And like maybe she has to wrap up the newspaper differently. I don't know.
yeah. Just or a briefcase. Make it a briefcase.
Something. It doesn't have to be the exact same. It can
Yeah.
be, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there was opportunity to make some things a little bit different, but I guess that wasn't the goal of the film. Marion hears what sounds like Norman arguing with a woman in the house behind the motel before he comes back with the dinner. He tells Marion his mother isn't quite herself today, insists that they have the meal in the parlor behind the office. It's funny that he calls it a parlor, I feel like. That's not in the original necessarily. He doesn't say parlor, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. But did you notice like everything in this parlor is the exact same,
Yes. In the room, too. The room is
except for the golf
exact same.
clubs. Like
Yep.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, they just like modernized some of the touches around them, but everything else is the same. Like the picture frames of the birds in her room,
Yeah.
identical.
That's cool.
The
Though.
bathroom
I
even
like
looks
that.
identical.
Yeah.
So crazy. Okay. Yes, they have the meal in the parlor behind the office. They discuss his passion of bird taxidermy, and how his best friend is his mother. Because a boy's best friend is his mother, right?
Well, boy's
That's
best.
normal.
See, his delivery there was way worse than Anthony
Yeah,
Perkins' ones. Well,
100%.
well, a boy's best friend is his mother. But there's like,
There was something missing.
yeah, Vince Vaughn is just
Yeah.
like, well, a boy's best friend's his mother. And it's like, that's not what the point of the line is. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm
Weirdly
a
enough,
director.
I feel like when Vince Vaughn wasn't talking, he embodied the
Yeah,
creepiness of Norman Bates really well with his body language and his smiling and his eyes.
his
But I felt like
smile was so good.
the lines weren't quite there.
Yeah, agreed.
Norman tells her that she eats like a bird and that birds are passive to begin with, so he enjoys stuffing them to use as decorations. Feels less guilty than, say, a dog or a cat. Makes sense. Norman tells Marion his mother is ill. Not the kind of ill you think of, but she's ill. Had to raise him alone when his father died when he was 5, and then a few years ago she met a new man who talked her into buying this motel, and he died too. So it's been a great shock for his mother, and after all that loss, she had nothing left, saying a son is a poor substitute for a lover.
Can I just remind you, she met this guy about 10 minutes ago. And he's
Oh
already
yeah,
like
he's spilling his
unloading
life
on her.
story.
Yeah, he's unloading on
Yeah.
her.
He tells her, I hate what she's become. I hate the illness. I feel like that's important, kind of just for like for later, obviously,
Yeah.
when it all comes together. Marion tells Norman he could put his mother in a home, but this upsets him, and he tells her that his mother is as harmless as one of the stuffed birds, says that his mother is not a maniac, and that she goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad
We all
sometimes.
go a little mad sometimes.
Oh, the way that Anthony Perkins delivers that line in the first one is
Ace.
just
It's
top
just
tier.
aces, yeah.
Yeah. Marion then excuses herself from all of this personal family trauma he has just unloaded on her because she's extremely tired and would like to go to sleep. She says goodbye, and she ends up telling him her real name, saying that it's Mrs. Crane, which I thought was really interesting touch to include that. She specifically gave a fake name, but then told him her real last name.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll stop here for a second. Anything else to add? I mean, like we've been saying, this is literally the same plot, same scenes. What did you think of the '90s like look of the film? Anything that you liked about
I don't know.
that?
I liked it at first. I was just like, it's like, oh, it's cool to see this movie in color. But then, I don't know. I much prefer it in black and white. Like, I
I think
think
overstays its welcome a little
it
bit in
does.
that aesthetic.
Like, when you get to the actual bar shower scene kill, I think it's much gorier in black and white, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Kind of just makes it look a lot less, a lot more fake in terms of when it's color with it. Takes away
I
from
think
it.
that's why I was saying earlier about how like I wish they would have done something a little different with the killing scenes. I think it's mainly the shower one that bothers me because of how pale and like uncolorful it is. I feel like they could have done something a little bit creepier with like showing the stabbing
Yeah.
a little bit more, like the blood being a bit more like vibrant. I feel like it was like a faded like
There's
blood. I don't know.
In the original, there's a great shot during that stabbing where it shows the mother, and all you see is the eyes, and it's
Yes.
really creepy. And they try to redo that in this one, but it just didn't work.
No, no, and yeah, and I was gonna get into that scene like soon, but I wrote down something about like it has like these shots of like moving sky between it, and then there's like a zoom up shot on
Yeah.
eyeballs, but it's like a really close up. It doesn't give you that same like eerie
Let's see if
feeling.
I want to see if I can get that shot up on my phone so I can show the camera. But yeah, yeah, I agree. But that's all I got to say for right now.
Okay, well I'll keep going because we're about to get to that scene, and you can
Yeah,
look for
cool.
that while I'm talking. But okay, so after she leaves, she starts to go back to her room and undress. Norman peeps on her through a hole that he has in his parlor because of course he has that. Before heading back up to the house. So meanwhile, she's doing the math for the money that she's spent thus far before ripping up the piece of paper and flushing the evidence down the toilet. We all know the great story about the original and the toilet, the running toilet, so that
Yeah.
that scene could be included. I don't. How much did he spend on it?
Oh, like it was an obscene amount of money.
Obscene amount of money.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's cinema.
yeah. But also, why is she? Why can't she just do that math in her head? Like,
Yeah,
what
I've
was the
always
point of
wondered that.
Especially the original one, where it was
The original one is very
forty
simple.
thousand minus 700, and I was like,
Minus $10, I think, for like. Oh, that's not even the $10 is later. That's like when Sam comes back. So yeah, she doesn't even pay up front.
no, it's so funny.
Yeah, I never have understood the. I mean, nothing against Marion, but come on, girl, you work at a bank. You can't do mental math.
Yeah, exactly. She works at a bank.
Makes no sense. But yes, while in the shower, Marion is attacked by what appears to be a long-haired blonde woman, stabbing her to death before she falls over, blood going down the drain, and her body falls over the side of the bathtub. Which I will say, the
That's
body
cool.
falling over the side of the bathtub looked a lot more like, oh fuck, like in this
Yeah.
one versus the original. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, agreed.
Did you find the photo?
Yeah, so they've kind of enhanced it where this is like, oh, wait, let me lower the.
I know exactly what you're talking about because you can kind of like see like a distorted face and then you see the eyes. Yeah, the eyes are
The
like really
eyes.
creepy. You can't really
That's
see it through the screen, but
Yeah, that's creepy as hell. But
yeah, I love that shot from the original.
but they just don't really. That's the best part of that killing, I reckon, is that. And also, they started the score like about 5 seconds too late.
Yeah, it was
And
late.
it's starting to stab where it's like dun dun dun, beam beam beam. But it's like as soon as the shower curtain comes out, it's like, but yeah, there's a couple of things.
I just didn't love the way it was shot in general. I genuinely think that my least favorite scene in the movie was this shower scene, which is
Yeah, I'd agree
crazy
with
because
that.
it's one of the best scenes in the original. So yeah, that was very disappointing. I kind of feel like that was a missed opportunity to add a little bit of a touch to it, even if you're trying to like do a recreation to like pay homage or whatever. You could still make little tweaks. You could still follow the same plot and still
Yep.
make tweaks, you know?
Agreed.
Okay, so then we hear Norman yelling at his mother after obviously she lays there and the blonde woman has run away. We hear Norman yelling at his mother, asking what she's done, and then he grabs
Blood!
him up and bucket,
Blood!
and then heads into cabin one to clean up the mess that his mother has made. Norman wraps Marion up in the shower curtain, cleans up his mess, and loads her into the trunk of the car with all her belongings, even the newspaper that is supposedly full of almost $400,000. So legit. He'd feel that. Like, if you picked up that newspaper, you would feel $400,000.
You would.
Come on now. He drives her car into a nearby swamp and lets the car sink down, originally thinking that it's not going to sink all the way, and then giving a very haunting smile once it has successfully sunk into the swamp. I love that scene in the original when he's just like eating his candies and chewing,
It's so
and then
good.
his face is like worried, and then he smiles again. It's so good.
Man, I miss Anthony Perkins.
He's so great. It was cool watching it now that I've seen Oz Perkins like in the limelight more, because like I've seen his face just more in the last couple of years. You can really see the parts of him that look just like his father.
Oh my God, I never knew
you
that.
didn't- You knew that was his dad?
I was about to be like, oh, it's Anthony Perkins. And then I was about to correct you. I never knew
so
that.
Anthony. Okay, so getting into the original Psycho for a second, Anthony Perkins is the father of Oz Perkins,
The director.
and Janet Leigh, who plays Marion, is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis.
I knew that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But wow.
The original Scream Queen.
Anthony Perkins. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that wild? You can really look at his face now. You'll see.
Yeah,
this
now I see it.
resemblance.
Yeah. Anthony Perkins, by the way, hot as fuck back in the
Oh
day.
yeah.
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 Wow, his dad, even though like God rest his soul, would be so proud of him.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Wow, that
Okay.
blew me away.
Well, I'm glad I was able to give you something you didn't know. That's great.
Looking forward to Keeper. Please make it better than the monkey.
Fingers
Please.
crossed. I didn't mind the monkey. It wasn't.
I did not like the monkey. I thought the monkey.
It wasn't too. Not as good as Long Legs, but still not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, we flash to Sam, the lover from the beginning, Mr. Viggo Mortensen, writing a letter to Marion in the back office of his place of business when he's visited by Marion's sister, Lila, played by the forever talented Julianne Moore. She's definitely on the list.
Oh yes, she is.
I do like how he was a little bit more of like a rural kind of redneck guy in this.
It's kind of like a cowboy in a way.
It made sense though. Like she's heading towards Bakersfield. I know you're not maybe familiar with that part of California, but it is like rural farmland. Like
Is
that's
it?
what it is.
Okay.
So it makes sense.
I see California, and all I think is LA.
Yeah, it's all not like that at all. Like completely not like that.
Yeah,
And
fair
then I like that Julianne Moore's character is very like a little bit more like that edgy '90s kind of character. Has her
Yeah.
headphones in when she comes in.
Very
different
high
from the
fidelity.
original.
I thought.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're introduced to them. Movie kind of takes a complete switch at this point, obviously, which is like a fun kind of, when you're watching the original for the first time, it's like a fun storyline shift where now it's like, oh, she's gone. Now we're switching to what happened to her, which is kind of like a little bit of an investigative story, which I obviously always love those. So they're discussing her concerns for her sister. And while they're discussing it, a private detective played by William H. Macy, Detective Arbogast, he comes right in because he's been following her. I love that he just appears. He's just
Yeah.
like, if I may for a moment.
Yeah, I liked that as well. Also, his hat, wild.
Wild. Also his green eyes, wild. Why are they so green?
It's so green. It's so goddamn green.
Arbogast tells them Marion left town with $400,000. They think she might be there with Sam, but he assures them she's not there. But Arbogast is certain that she isn't far, so he's going to go around town and start checking with locals, checking every motel along the way. He then ends up at the Bates Motel, wouldn't you know, where Norman is outside eating candies and greets him in that awfully wonderful tight turtleneck and jeans outfit.
So good.
I mean, obviously they do that in the original as well, but like Vince Vaughn in it in color just looks so much more ridiculous, obviously. Arbogast tells him he's looking for someone, a woman who's been hiding, or I'm sorry, not hiding, been missing for about a week. She could be hiding. We don't know yet. Norman is immediately nervous, but tells him no one had been there in weeks and doesn't recognize her from the photo. But after further digging, Arbogast gets him to show the registration book, confirming her handwriting. I love this, that he has it ready to go, what her handwriting looks like, because he knows that she probably didn't use a real name.
It's genius.
So genius. So he sees the name Marie Samuels in her handwriting and makes the connection to her name and obviously Sam Loomis and believes that to be her. And Norman looks at the photo again, noting he didn't recognize her because when she came in, it was raining, so her hair was all messed up, which is so funny in this one because her hair is so short.
Yeah.
So it's like it would be the same.
The difference in like the old film and this one is like Vince Vaughn puts on this act that is like so suspicious.
Yes.
Like Anthony kind of like just shit talked his way through it and it was fine.
Absolutely.
Like Vince was just like from the get go, you're like, this guy's done something. Like he's hiding
He
something.
seems very
big time.
guilty. He's not as good at playing it cool, and he also doesn't have the same like charm that Anthony Perkins had that I feel like made him a little bit more believable.
Yeah.
Like even with Marion, like Vince Vaughn version comes off so off-putting
Yeah.
and like from the get-go that I feel like she would not just like trust this man to have dinner with him in his parlor, you know?
Yeah. And the turtleneck.
The turtleneck just has to go. It has to go. But yes, he notices that, yes, he does recognize her now. He's starting to get a mental picture now, all of a sudden, and assures him that she checked in, she paid in cash, she left the next morning without stopping by the office, and then through more digging reveals that he made her a sandwich and they ate in the parlor, but she went straight to sleep after that. As Arbogast follows Norman out, who is going to change the linens because he says he does it even when no one's been there, he sees a figure of a woman up in the window of the house behind the motel. Norman originally claims he lives alone. It's like, it's amazing. It's like he literally has just looked and seen this woman. He's like, oh, you live here by yourself? Yep. Well, then who's that person up there? It's just like it's perfectly timed.
It's like I live alone, but yeah.
Yeah, she's invalid, so yeah, I basically live alone. So, sorry, he grills him and reveals that it's his invalid mother, and that she may have seen or met Marion, which Arbogast obviously, this is interesting to him because now he feels he has another person to speak with to get more information.
Yeah.
But Norman asks him to leave, and basically he says that he would need a warrant for that to come back and talk to his mother. So he goes and finds a payphone, calls Lila and tells her that Marion spent the Saturday night at the Bates Motel, and that he does not feel entirely satisfied with what he found. So he thinks that he needs to talk to the mother, but that he wouldn't let him see her. So he assures them he's going to go back to the motel first before heading back to where they are. So he takes it upon himself to go up to the house, and as he's walking up the stairs, he is stabbed to death by what appears to be Mrs. Bates again. Again, another scene that's identical to the original. I think it is more haunting with like the angles and everything. But even in the original, the filmmaking style of like how he's like falling back and it looks super unrealistic, that only works in 1960. That doesn't work in 1998.
Exactly.
You just
It's like
can't do
charming in 1960.
Yes. And in black and
1998,
white
you're
too.
like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah, I feel like the combination of the time period and the black and white make it really charming. It just feels cheap. I just
Yep.
don't like it. So Norman then repeats the process of sinking his car, his stuff, and
Yeah.
smiling out at the swamp as it submerges. So anything else to add here? I was just going to ask how you liked the casting of Arbogast, Lila,
I think it was
and
fine.
stuff.
I'm not a big William H. Macy fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like, but I haven't watched Shameless, so don't come for me, Shameless fans. Sorry, I'm just trying to lose my voice, it sounds like. Yeah, I thought he was fine. He didn't really add anything to it. I kind of way prefer the original casting. But he, I don't know, ever since I watched Fargo again, William H. Macy annoys me. And it's the same in this film. That, but yeah. I think you said it kind of perfectly. It didn't really add anything to it, but they should have done that stairway scene differently, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say I'll give some credit. I do feel like Julianne Moore and, yeah, like I said, Viggo Mortensen were definitely a little bit better than the original characters, just for adding a little bit extra flair, adding a little something to the characters. I think that they stood out to me as two that kind of did that. And then, yeah, I felt like the original Arbogast was a little bit more of like a mysterious private detective type. Like I feel like his aesthetic and the way he portrayed his character and delivered his lines just felt a little bit of a better, like going back and forth with Norman.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like it flowed better in the original. But yeah, I wasn't like offended by him playing that character. I don't have like a distaste for William H. Macy, but he can be a little irritating sometimes in his characters.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, not much more else to add though, unfortunately. I wish I had more to say about this movie, but it's just kind of...
It just is what it is.
It just is what it is, yeah. Okay, so concerned about Arbogast, Lila begs Samuel to do something and find out what happened. So they go see the local Fairvale chief of police. They tell him everything that's happened thus far about Marion and Arbogast missing now, but he doesn't want to believe anything strange could be going on at the Bates Motel and residence. His wife, though, pushes him to call the Bates Motel, so he speaks briefly with Norman, who claims that Arbogast came by, questioned him, and then left. How convenient. The chief of police explains to Lila and Sam that it is impossible that Mrs. Bates could have been involved because she's been dead for 10 years. Dun, dun, dun. After she poisoned her lover and then immediately poisoned herself after.
It's always one of my favorite lines of like, if that's her, who's buried,
corpse, yeah.
who's buried in that graveyard.
Exactly.
I love that.
Sam tells him that he saw a woman sitting up in the window, though, and that when he pounded and yelled on the door, no one answered, which makes Chief Chambers question how she could be in the house when her corpse is in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Norman then argues with his mother again before taking her downstairs to place her in the fruit cellar where no one can find her. I do like that you see him carry the body.
Yeah.
So that it's like you still are thinking like, okay, this is just like a really invalid old woman, who's living here with him. Like you wouldn't really suspect anything at this point.
Yeah.
I do think in the original, the way they show the mother in the shower scene is much more like ominous as to who it could be. Yeah. Whereas in this one, it looked much more clear that it was like him dressed up.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I'm just saying that because I watched the original the night before, but it just felt like it looked a little more obvious.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Especially the staircase stab scene as well. I think it's obviously Vince Vaughn.
Like maybe it's a lighting thing or I don't know what it is, but yeah, it definitely is much more obvious. So yes, he takes his mom down to the fruit cellar. Meanwhile, Lila finally convinces Sam to go to the Bates Motel and investigate every inch of the place. Lila and Sam meet Norman, who gives them keys to cabin 10. But while he is distracted up in the house, they sneak into cabin 1, which is still unlocked. Not sure why he did that. To look around since they know Marion stayed there. They find a piece of the note that didn't make it into the toilet, which appears to be the number subtracted from the 400,000, leading Lila to know for certain her sister was in that room and attempted to flush this note.
Yep.
Lila tells Sam to go distract Norman in the office so that she can go take a look inside the house and try to find the mother. So while she's looking through the house, Sam talks to Norman. They kind of start off talking nicely, and then he sort of presses him, indicating that, he's stolen the money, that he might be keeping Marion there, or that she might have paid him to not tell anyone, that he bets his mother knows where the money is. But at this point, he gets agitated enough to knock him out with the golf club before running back to the house, realizing that Lila is in there. So Lila hides near a basement door. This is an exact recreation of the original, him walking through the front door, her hiding behind the staircase. Identical looking inside. The house looks different from the outside.
Like she's originally grabbing the bar, and then he looks towards her. Like little things like that. I was like, this is identical.
Yeah, like it goes past just like the script. It's like the framing, the shots, the mannerisms, everything. But I did think it was interesting that the house from the outside looked very different than the original. Like walking up to the house. They changed that a lot. I'm not sure if it was just where they shot it or what, but yeah, definitely the hotel and the house itself looked very different.
Interesting.
As she's hiding, she notices that there is a door into a basement cellar, so she heads down and ends up in the fruit cellar where there's birds chirping around and a woman sitting in a chair facing away from her. But when she turns it around, she realizes it is just the corpse of Mrs. Bates. And then she turns around to see Norman dressed in a blonde wig coming towards her with a knife. But Sam managed to get up quickly and come stop him and knock him out. And they were able to get the knife away from him. So then we flash to a room full of people. We have Dr. Richmond, who is explaining what happened to a room full of investigators, attorneys, police, Lila, Sam. Everybody's up in that room.
Oh, yeah.
He explains that the other half of Norman's mind is his mother. But you have to go back to when he murdered his mother and her lover. He was disturbed since his father died when he was young. His mother was clingy, and they lived just them two until she took a new lover and started ignoring him more. Norman had to erase the crime in his mind, so he stole the corpse, kept it in the cellar, and kept his mother there with him. But over time, he began to think and speak for his mother, carrying on conversations, and sometimes the mother took over completely in his mind. He tells Lila that he was touched by your sister and aroused by her, so this set off the jealous mother who killed her and the detective. He tried to be his mother, and now he is her.
No.
Someone asks about the money, and he tells them that the swamp got it. These are crimes of passion, not profit. I love that line.
That's a good line.
The cop then brings Norman a blanket that he's asked for in the holding area and is thanked by a woman's voice. We then end Norman sitting in silence, thinking thoughts as his mother about how she won't go down for the crimes committed by him, saying, "As if I can do anything but sit and stare like one of his birds. I will just sit here and be quiet so they won't suspect me. Let them see what kind of person I am. I won't even swat this fly so they can say, see, she wouldn't even hurt a fly."
She wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Then Norman looks up at the camera with the creepiest smile. They did change this ever so slightly. It is like from an upward angle versus straight on angle. And when he smiles creepily, we then see the cops pulling the car from the swamp. Credits roll. This is Psycho. Which Psycho, might you ask? You wouldn't know because they're the same.
The exact same.
Okay, so give me your final thoughts, score, if you were able to give one. Anything you want to add about the original film, about this one? Anything... I guess we already answered the question of, do you think this movie should be made? You already said no, so we know that.
But the color drains this film. Kind of like they kind of did this in a way that they did this film in a way that like to I don't know, pay an homage to classic Hollywood and stuff and modernize it and get that new audience in. But it just didn't do it any justice. If they're going to reimagine something, reimagine it rather than just it just felt like a cheap skin on top of it. I don't love this film. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was fine. That's mainly because of the performances in terms of specific. I thought Vince Vaughn was great in this. I thought he was like, he completely shocked me by like how good he was. Doesn't come near Perkins. But like, he's just like, for me, knowing who Vince Vaughn is, I thought this was like a really cool side of him, of his performance. This is just, it's such an unusual film. Just because of how identical it is. And it's crazy that Gus Van Sant did this, because I feel like he's a director that wants to do his things, you know? But, yeah. 3 out of 5.
Are you happy that you watched it? Are you indifferent?
Yeah, I'm happy I watched it, but I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, you know?
Agreed. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't even know how to rate this. I am thinking somewhere between like 2.5 and 3 stars, mainly just because I'm like, you didn't do enough to like wow me to really go above that, but I wasn't offended by it, like I said, so I would never give this like a half star or something crazy like that. I don't think it was offensively bad. I don't think that the color works enough for it. I don't think that they added enough creative flair to certain things that could have just slightly changed and made it kind of stand on its own. I do think that, like I said, some of the actors did a good job. I think that the cast is really what the movie has going for it enough to make it watchable. But yes, it's one of those things I'm going to watch once, be like, okay, yeah, I've seen the remake. Never need to watch it again. I'll just watch the original because it's so much better. And yeah, I do agree about Vince Vaughn. It was interesting seeing maybe something that predated most of what I know him from. And just seeing kind of what people, maybe if you saw this at the time, you might have thought, oh, like maybe he's going to be a dramatic actor. Yeah. He never really did that after, but I could see people kind of thinking that after this movie. Like, he definitely gave it his all, which I can respect.
Reminds me of True Detective Season 2, where he was awesome in that.
I never saw that.
It was a terrible season, but he was a great character, and he was like super serious. He was like a mob boss. And he was great. Yeah, he was great.
Okay. Well, this proved, if anything, that Vince Vaughn can be more than just Vince Vaughn. So there is that. But yes, I don't really have much more to add. I think the original is just fantastic. It's not like my favorite horror, but just such a classic and really changed the game for horror films. So I respect the fuck out of it for that reason.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's what we think of 1998's Psycho remake. I would love to know if you like love this movie or you feel very strongly about it. Let us know in the comments. Like, did we miss anything? Is there something here that is more than meets the eye?
We probably missed something. We probably missed something, but
let us know.
I don't think we did, actually.
I don't think we did either, but I'm just trying to put it out there in case we have any fans of the show that are massive fans of this movie. But yeah, so that is our thoughts on Psycho remake. Before we go, we're going to do a quick little game this time, change it up. I just have 3 movies here that I've thought of. I'm going to have you guess the movie based on the cast. I've got 5 cast members. I'm sure you're going to get them all because you're really good at this, but we'll see if we can trick you at all. So the first cast member, Reese Witherspoon.
Okay. I do like Reese. I'm a big Reese Witherspoon fan. I think she's really cool. But like the only movie that's coming to my mind is Wild. It's not gonna be that. You're gonna show me her fucking first film. But, Legally Blonde.
No, not Legally Blonde.
Um,
Okay, second actor
yeah, give me a second. I'm not gonna get
is
it.
going to be Josh Lucas.
Josh Lucas. He's Australian, isn't he?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know that.
I think he is. I'll Google it after I've guessed this. I'm not too sure. Poseidon, the Poseidon. Remember the remake
Not
of Poseidon?
Poseidon?
He was in that.
Oh, I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah.
You might get it with this one. Jared Leto.
Oh, American Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's so
I felt
funny.
like
Let
the
me
first
look
two
up
was
if
kind of
he's.
tough. Well, because Josh Lucas and Reese Witherspoon are in Sweet Home Alabama together.
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah.
thought
yeah.
you might be a little bit tricked with that. But then there was really no way Jared Leto wouldn't give it away.
Josh Lucas is very American. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Well, now we know for sure. Okay, so you got that one on the third actor. That's pretty
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Second movie. First actor is Chris Pratt.
Oh, dude, he's in
That could be
fucking
anything.
everything. Yeah. I'm gonna go Wanted.
Definitely not that.
Oh, but he's a side character in Wanted. I thought I nailed that.
I mean, it's good because, yeah, you kind of have to have the assumption that the first actor is maybe not the top build.
Yeah.
Right? Second actor is Adam Brody.
From I always get Adam and Adrian always confused. Adam
Brody is the one from the
OC,
OC.
right? Yeah. I like him. He's fun.
Very different acting career than Adrian Brody.
Yeah, he's fun. What movie they been in together? I'm trying to think of just now all I can, but it can't be top build.
This game is hard. I always am so bad at it.
Because all like as soon as you think of one movie, you can't think past it, and all I'm thinking of is Lego Movie.
I mean, a buttload of people are in that movie, so.
Oh, it's something. Is Adam Brody somehow in Moneyball?
No, he's not in Moneyball. Is that your guess?
Yeah, Moneyball.
Okay. Okay, third actor is Johnny Simmons. Do you want me to give you a hint as to who that is
Yeah,
visually?
please.
So, you know, in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the like young Neil,
Yeah.
that actor.
Oh, that's Johnny Simmons. Is this Jennifer's Body?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Great movie.
I didn't know Chris. I forgot he was in it. I was looking
Yeah,
at this. I was
I was thinking of just Adam Brody movies. I'm like, I know he's in Jennifer's Body.
okay, you might be seeing a theme. So I did American Psycho. I did Jennifer's Body. You might be seeing a
Nice.
theme to these movies.
Nice. Okay.
Just throwing that out there. Okay, final one. First actor is Andre Holland.
Okay. Who's Andre Holland?
He's the guy in Moonlight who plays the older version
Okay.
of the friend.
Yep. Yeah. In the third act.
Yeah.
Is it Moonlight?
No.
Okay.
Okay, second actor is Jessica Harper.
Okay. And if you had to tell me who Jessica Harper was,
Suspiria. OG Suspiria.
is that
Susie.
Susie? Okay.
Obviously, it's not Suspiria.
I'm thinking of like, what's the connection with Jennifer's Body?
Oh, don't overthink that too much.
Okay. No, nothing.
Okay. The first two are really hard. Okay, the third actor is Mark Rylance.
The only horror movie I know Mark Rylance is in is Bones and All. I don't know if the other two are in that. Bones and All?
Yeah.
Oh,
You got it
nailed
on the
that.
third one every single time. I was going to say Taylor Russell and Timothy Chalamet. So they were just all horror films. Different
Nice, okay.
subgenres. That was the only overlap.
nice.
I just didn't want to tell you that ahead of time because I thought it might give it away too much. But
No, I love that. That's cool.
you nailed it anyways. So nice work.
That's fun.
Okay. Harry passes the test. That wraps up our thoughts on 1998's Psycho. What a ride that was. And thank you for listening. Next week is our 100th episode.
100.
So bravo to us. That's pretty exciting. And we're talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I had never seen. So looking forward to that. We're definitely not going to record that right now and look exactly the same for our 100th episode, but I look forward to that. That'll be fun. So please watch that. But until next time, I'm Ash. That's Harry, and we'll see you at the movies.